Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fusion. Hope y'all were sitting by your computers and your phones and your tablets, waiting to go live, waiting for us to go live. So we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. When you come in, just shoot me a little hello. Let me know you are logged in. And we're going to give it a second for people to come in, and then we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. Thank you for joining. Those of you that are coming in, thank you. What's happening, Lawrence? Thanks, bro, for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Shawnee, what's happening? Come on in. The water's fine. That sounded kind of creepy, didn't it? What's up, Joe? Thank you guys for joining. We're going to have a great conversation tonight as people are coming in. Just shoot me a hello. Let me know you here. Hey, Dr. Grace. Jay Coop, my man. What's happening, Brody? Andrew, what's happening, bro? Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining in. We're going to have a great Crystal and Kerry. I think y'all got married because both of y'all names started with a K. Jason, welcome. Thanks for joining, guys. Welcome to Fusion. As you're watching, if you can share this with somebody, invite somebody to tune in. What's up, Jason? Invite somebody to tune in, as well as things are. What's happening, man? Welcome, Coyote. Did I say that correctly, Coyote? Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Hit the likes, hit the hearts, all of those things boost the engagement. We want people to see this, and we want people to lock in and tune in. We're going to have a great conversation tonight. And our tonight's subject is starting from the bottom, how to start from the bottom and succeed. Hey, Rachel, how to start from the bottom and succeed. And, I got a great guest tonight. I'm going to bring him in a second. But I just wanted to talk about, why I'm doing Fusion. And hey, Jahan. Hey, Brigitte. Fusion is where faith and business merge. And the reason why I started this vision is because I wanted people to, especially Christians, but not only Christians, anybody of faith, of any level of faith. A lot of times we can lean heavily on our faith and not give as much attention to the practical side of life. And especially when it comes to our dreams and our visions and our goals and the things that we are seeking to accomplish in life. And so I wanted Fusion to be a place where you could come and not just get inspiration and motivation, but also get information and a plan for actualization. Because if you don't actualize your dreams and actualize your goals, then it might as well not even exist. It only exists in your head. You got to get it out of your head and get it out of your spirit and bring it into the real life world. I always say that when God downloads ideas, when God downloads things into you, then he made an investment in you, and you become a keeper of that investment, and you are expected to bring God a return on his investment. The parable of the talents was very clear on that the master wants a return on his investment. Just taking it and burying it is not acceptable. The master was very, very angry with the servant who only had one talent, taking his and burying his. So that's not an option. And many of you have been burying your talents. And I'm using that in a metaphoric sense, because in the Bible, the parable of the talents was about money. A talent was an amount of silver or gold. It was actual money. So he gave one talent, another one 2 talents, and another one 5 talents. And the one with 5 talents doubled his. The one with 2 talents increased his, and the one with 1 talent had a bunch of excuses. So no more excuses. And I want to take away the excuses by making sure that you have the proper information to actualize your dreams and your goals and your visions. So that's what it's all about. I heard somebody say that something that was very powerful, and I loved it. It said that people look to make excuses for their failures, so they blame their limitations. That's so powerful. People look to make excuses for their failures. They look to make excuses for why they haven't launched that business. They look to make excuses for why they haven't done what they're supposed to do. They look to make excuses for why they haven't written that book or started that podcast or did that food truck or that catering business or whatever it is you desire to do. So instead of taking responsibility and saying, hey, I haven't been a wise steward over my talents, they look to blame their limitations. Well, I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have enough connections. I don't know this. I don't know that. I don't know anybody in this business. And so that's why I wanted to bring people on this show who started from the bottom and now they're here. So they can really tell you that those limitations don't have to mean anything. You can still be successful in spite of. I want to give you a pointer before I bring my guests on. Each week, I'm going to give you a different pointer to help change your mindset and the way you look at things to help you, help lead you to increase. And this week's tip is don't resent wealth or wealthy people. A lot of times we have been taught to resent wealthy people, to resent wealth, to look at wealth as evil, to look at wealthy people and say that, well, if they're successful or they're prosperous or they're wealthy, there must have been something nefarious done, or there must have been something that they did shady, or there's got to be some shade involved. Even when you look in the media, like even in the movies, you always notice in the movie, there's always like, some orphanage and then some rich, wealthy guy who wants to tear down the orphanage to build a strip mall or something, or, wants to tear down the orphanage. Like the wealthy guy is always evil. He's always manipulative. He's always cold hearted. He's always like, we've always painted wealthy people and wealth in a negative light. So then we look at wealthy people like it must be something wrong with them. And my thing is, yeah, it's something wrong with everybody. It's crooked preachers, it's crooked politicians, it's crooked judges, it's crooked lawyers, it's crooked bakers, it's crooked car salesmen, it's crooked everything. But to judge everything and everybody by the actions of a few bad apples, to me, is not wisdom. And you can never become something that you despise. You can never become something that you despise. We all want more. We all want better. But then we look at the people that have better like there's something wrong with them. So you have already given yourself a self-limiting belief. So we got to get rid of these self-limiting beliefs, and understand. And here's the other thing. Even if you don't understand, because sometimes, wealthy people, or people that may own the company that you work for, or whatever, your boss, or whatever you look at, some of the decisions that they make may seem cold, or may seem like, all they care about is the money and not the people. Well, here's the thing. When you start a business and you start a venture, you are creating something that's bigger than any individual. And you got to care for it that way. So sometimes as a business owner, you may have to make a decision that your employees may not like or may not understand, or it may be something that may negatively affect your employees to save the business. I was watching a YouTube video today, and this guy who founded a tech company, he was saying saying, you know, one of the hardest things in the world to do is when you have to lay off employees. He was like, you know, we had a round of investment and our burn rate was too high. We went through our cash, and when we were about 3 weeks away from running out of money, we had to lay off some people. You know, and so you know, I know the people that got laid off didn't like it, and they probably felt like y'all making you the founder, y'all making all this money, you could have just gave yourself a lower salary and kept us on board. You know what I'm saying? People always have a criticism for the boss until you become the boss. When you become the boss and you see the level of responsibility that rests on the boss's shoulders and the types of hard decisions that a boss has to make, it's a little bit different thing. You get a little different understanding. I had a friend, you know, even on a lower level, it don't even have to be a tech company or anything that level of that on that level. I have a friend that worked at the post office, and she used to always talk about the supervisor and how the supervisors be tripping and the supervisors ain't this and the supervisors ain't that. Then one day she became the supervisor. And then once she became the supervisor and saw how hard it was to rally the troops and keep them in line and get things done, then she understood why the supervisors be tripping, you know, because it's like now it's another level of responsibility. So I said all that to say, you know, it's the same thing with wealthy people. They have responsibilities and things and considerations that they have to consider in how they move in running the company or handling their investments or how they interface with politics or whatever the case may be. So instead of resenting them, start reading books about them, start watching YouTube videos about them, understand how the wealthy think. Because if you want to get there, you got to understand how they think. Don't try to wait till you get there and then figure it out. And because you can blow it that way. And the mentality comes first and then the wealth comes. Otherwise, you won't hold on to it. All right. So that's my tip for this week. So I'm going to bring in my guest now. I'm really anxious to get into this conversation. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, the love button, the heart button, you know, whenever something is being said that you can relate to. You can also watch this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And when you go to the YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe. All right. So my guest is Mr. Kerry Lampkin. This brother, let me tell you, the reason why I'm excited about having this man on my show is because I watched him. I remember when he came here to Detroit, to Michigan, and I watched him do his thing. And I didn't know he was doing what he was doing. I saw him, you know, because we go to the same church, it was same ministry. And so I watched him around the ministry. He was just, you know, all over the place, and he was over here and he was over there. He was a ball of energy. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, good brother. He seemed like a good brother, you know, got a good heart. He, you know, he's cool, down to earth guy. And so then one day I went on his social media page, and he had this building for sale. And so I was like, well, and then he had like before and after pictures of the building. It was a commercial building in Detroit that he had bought and renovated. And so I was like, this his building? So I looked at the address because he had said it was up for sale. So one day I was out in the city and I drove by the building and drove up in the alley and was looking. I was like, this building nice. And so I went up to him when I saw him at service, and I was like, bro, that was your building? He was like, yeah. He was real humble about it. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know he was doing real estate like that. So fast forward a few years now, this brother has a $3.5 million portfolio of real estate. Okay, so I think that he got some stuff that he can tell us about how to get it popping and how to start from the bottom and get to the top. So I want you to welcome my brother Kerry Lampkin.
What's
happening,
up?
Kerry?
What's up? Thank you for having me, Minister Joseph.
Man, I appreciate you coming on board and sharing your knowledge with the people, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir. I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you. Thank you. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. So let's dive right off into it. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit. You're not from Detroit, Michigan.
No.
So tell us a bit about where you're from and your upbringing and your backstory a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you some of my backstory. I'm not from here. I'm from Texas, a little small town outside of Austin, Texas, called Lockhart, Texas. I was born in Houston, Texas, though. When I was about 8, my parents moved to Lockhart area where they began to raise us. We had a lot of family members there where they can help us, and just it was good to actually have that family. Oh, there you go. I'm like, I can see this.
Yeah.
It was good to just have family. Being around family. I learned a lot from my uncles. My mom's side, they lived off the land, so I was around seeing crops and stuff grow, animals, cattle, and things like that. But my mom and dad, they were great parents. They taught me a lot, which is, they kept us in church, which I hated it when I was young. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. But now I'm like, wow, thank God for my mom and dad prayers and my aunt and my grandma prayers. I'm actually blessed right now to still be alive because I think because of their prayers, they got me out of a lot of mess. But I'm gonna give you my backstory before everything. All right, so I'm gonna fast forward through it. I know I went to college in 2007, 2008. I dropped out of college in 2008, right? Because I wanted to sell some drugs. My parents didn't know this. They probably watching now, like, dang boy, I'm gonna get you. My parents didn't know till later, and they didn't know till later on that I was actually, selling drugs. I was selling drugs later, like when I was young. When I got out of college for that reason. And as much money I was making, I wasn't really keeping it. I mean, I had some days where I made 35, 4,000 in a day, and it was like money going out the window. I didn't know I wasn't keeping it. For one thing, God wasn't blessing it, and for the second thing, I wasn't managing it right. You know what I mean? So let's move past that. In 2010, I had a head-on collision with an 18-wheeler. I'm only giving you the story so you can see where I come from. I had a head-on collision with an 18-wheeler where I had an outer body experience. Now, when I tell you this outer body experience was like I was going into another dimension. I'm not even making this up. And this would actually scare me straight. Like this really made me like, okay, there is truly a God. I knew there was a God, but I was just, just going through the motions and things like that.
Yeah.
And with this outer body experience, man, it woke me up to the fact that I had a purpose and that I walked out of it alive. All I had was a scratch on my head and a broke toe. And it wasn't even broke toe, it was a fracture. I wish I could show you. If I could share my screen, I could show you the car. Is that fine if I share my screen for a brief minute?
Yes.
Just to see the car crash?
Yes.
Right.
So you had a head-on collision with an 18-wheel. Did you fall asleep behind the wheel or?
No, you know what? I was let me go back to the screen. All right. What happened was it was construction going on during that time. I remember this. I remember it was construction going on at that time. I was listening to my some underground music. A guy by name J Dog. I was also smoking a Black and Mild wine. Now you can ask my wife. Back in the day, I used to smoke cigarettes like crazy. I smoked cigarettes and I smoked Black and Mild wines. It's just the combination between drinking a Four Loko and a Black and Mild wine went well. So I was a little, wasn't drunk, but I was tipsy, feeling good. And also I reached down to put a I believe it was the song or change the song. I was doing that. So you know how you can look through your vision, your side vision, where you can tell you in the lanes. You can tell you in the lanes. Like say if you're texting or something, you can tell when you're in the lane. Well, I just know that the cones was causing you to drift to the left to get in one lane, and it was oncoming traffic coming north. It was oncoming traffic coming this way. Mm-hmm. So I went over too much into the driver's lane where I went head on with an 18. We went about 65, and I didn't have my seatbelt on either, Joe. I was in the back seat of that car. And if I had my seatbelt on, I would be dead today because it would have smashed me. The engine was on my side. The sharp objects from the 18-wheeler was in. It was so. Man, I got to show it to y'all. A human being couldn't have made it out of that, right?
Wow.
So you'll see where I'm coming from. Why the Lord saved me? He spared my life.
Yeah.
He spared my life because He had plan and a purpose for me.
Yes, sir.
My screen, share screen, and there it is. Application. Here it is, right here.
Okay. Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the Chrysler 300. That's the Chrysler 300.
Wow.
So let me stop sharing. All right, that's the Chrysler 300 I was in. That was and can you see? No one could have made it out of that alive, right? So make it long story short, I began to get connected. I asked God, like, Lord, if you want me to live this straight life, narrow, path, I need some mentors in my life, Lord. I need someone that can help mentor me, where I can really know more about you and know what my purpose is, because I didn't know really what my purpose was. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean? Because I just try to search myself, try to see who I am, and so I began to get connected with a guy by the name of Pastor Gerald. Pastor Gerald came from during this time right after my crash. I met him not too much longer after. I believe it was like a few, probably like 6 to 8 months after my crash, whatever. And I began to start doing things for God, like in the community. I would put big events together, like called the Kingdom Explosion. A lot of people would come out. I mean, the whole community would come out, and it was a free event. I would bring singers, all these talents, like the things I do when you saw me when I came to Great Faith. You see how I was bringing all the God used me as a connector. I know that's one of my gifts that I have, is being a connector. So then I begin to ask God for that prayer. Ask God, okay, Lord, you got to put people in my life that can help me. You know what I mean? So Pastor Gerald came later on, and I was just returning some equipment from the event that I just had that previous day. I was just returning some equipment. Now, Pastor Gerald, he just made it as a U-Haul, and he had a keyboardist, and he had his family with him. And he was just picking up equipment from this place in Austin, Texas. It's like this known place called Rock and Roll Rental. Everybody rent their equipment there. They have everything for big events. So we met. He said something to me that really resonated with me. He prophesied to me. He said something that only God could have known. So I'm like, yo, I don't know this man from Adam. I'm like, how in the world he knew this? So I took it as a sign. I said, okay, Lord, this may be a sign that you connected me with this man of God for a reason. And I did pray, and I did remember that prayer that God would send me someone that can mentor me and that can, I just wanted to know more. And I got tired of the religious stuff. I got tired of seeing the same thing, same results, not seeing ministries grow. And it was just like, I know the God we serve has to be greater and better than this. You know what I mean? So I just had, so he was a very big impact in my life when it came to getting me started to where I'm at now, where as far as with Apostle Jackson, getting me connected. So I learned a lot from Pastor Gerald. He taught me some principles. He taught me I didn't even know my heavenly language. I didn't know how to speak in tongues at the time either. So he taught me all those things I need to know. So let's fast forward to 2014. I was working for a garbage truck. That's where I actually started driving trucks. I was working for a garbage truck company. I don't know if did I tell you that story, Joe?
No.
Okay, well, before I started doing real estate and all that, I used to be a truck driver. I worked for a trash company. I went from working a trash company to owning a trash company. I'll get into that later. All right.
Okay. Wow.
And I'm in real estate. So, man, I'm telling you, my story gets so good. I'm telling you, God is good. All right. So I learned all the ropes, everything through pretty much. I became how you be on back of a garbage truck, picking up trash, residential trash. I started off doing that. Right. It was so miserable. It was hot. Imagine Texas heat. Ain't nothing like Texas heat. 100 degrees, just swinging trash cans. I'm talking about 1,200 houses a day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes Saturdays we had to come in to work and get some of the stuff some of the loads we missed. So I began to do that. I'm like, man, paycheck to paycheck. So I'm still praying, asking God, like, Lord, this can't be it. Like, it's more to life than just working this paycheck to paycheck. It's more to life than just going through this daily grind and the struggle. I see my dad, he struggled from sun down to sun up. Like, he go in at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, come home at 8 at night, 9 at night sometimes. I'm like, man, this can't be a life. This can't be a life. You know what I mean? Working for somebody. I understand sometimes you got to work for somebody else to get to where you're going. But I just want to tell you where my mindset was at the time. So I began to work for that truck. Then at the time, we already had a daughter. I had my first girl in 2010 when they're in the car. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna back up. I had Kiari, my first daughter, my firstborn, during the time of that crash. So if I would have died, I would have left Crystal by herself and my newborn by herself.
So your daughter was in the car with you when you had that accident?
She was not in the car.
She was not.
Car seat. People thought she was in the car because the car seat was out, chunked out. And it was like, man, whoever's in there, where's the baby? Where's the baby? Everybody searching in the grass and everything. They thought she got swung out of it or something. But yeah. So I just recently had Kiari. So go back to where I'm going to as far as me working for a garbage company truck, right? So I moved in with my parents. I asked my parents if I could move in with them in 2014. I said, because I wanted to save money. I got tired of renting. I used to talk to old schools. They used to be like, man, you need to own your own. You need to get your own. It's like throwing money out the window when you're renting. So I start feeling some type of way. I'm like, damn, you're right. I'm just throwing money out the window. I could be So I told my mom, like, I'd rather just stay with my mom and so I can just save and stack up. So that season I stayed with my mom, my family. I mean, at the time now we have 3 children. Now we in a small garage where we altered into a room. Was my idea. I was like, Dad, can I alter this garage into a room? You know what I mean? So we can have my own family space in here. So he did. He said, yeah. So I got a contractor. And the contract, I didn't know much about contractor work, but I just got a contractor and I gave him my vision. I want a wall here, I want a door here, I want a window here, and he started doing that, right? So even though I was there trying to save, I still wasn't saving. It's money still was going in and out. Like, what in the world is going on? Now that I'm not paying $800 to $900 a month on a 1-bedroom apartment, or actually a 2-bedroom apartment, I'm have money now, extra money to save, and I'm not saving still. What's going on?
Yeah.
Until later on, I figure out it's a consistency thing when you have to like pay your tithes and giving. Like I learned more principles when I met Apostle Jackson, and I get there. So fast forward, 2015 came around. Someone told, which I got to give her credit for this, Pastor Debbie Sims and Pastor Darrell Sims. I got to give them credit because they was a blessing when it came to connecting me to Apostle Wayne T. Jackson and Dr. Beverly Jackson.
Shout out to Apostle Wayne T. and Dr. Beverly Jackson and Great Faith Ministries.
Yes, shout out to our spiritual father and mother.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they're blessed. So I gotta give it to them because they made that connection where they put me on they set up a conference call with us because, you know, I think I had a season where I wasn't really too being like productive in ministry doing things. I kind of died out a little bit on some things, you know what I mean? So Apostle Jackson began to talk to me every day. I won't say every day, but so often he would contact me and he would give me like nuggets of wisdom. And every time I was like, man, who is this guy? Like he got some wisdom. Like everything he would say, it was like I was connected to it. So I drove out there. I didn't drive out there the first time. I actually flew out there to visit. I wanted to see who he was because before I went out there, I wanted to look at his fruits. I was like, okay, I see. I see this pastor here. I see this pastor here. Okay, yeah, they got some power. Okay, I see what he has. I said, oh yeah, man, God has to be with him. He started a network. He has a network too. Oh man, God has to be with him. So I started examining. I started seeing things, the fruits and things that he had. I'm like, man, God has to be with him. Even though people were talking about him or whatever like that, I always run away from like people. Something must be going right. If a lot of people talking about you, something must be right about that individual. So I'm like, I want to meet him. Hey, forget what y'all say. I want to meet him. And so I had people in my ear like, oh, you don't know him. You shouldn't go. You don't know him. I'm like, man, I'm feeling this in my spirit. So I went and I tell you this, man, when I came to Detroit, it felt like home. Like I slept so peacefully. Like he let me stay at his guest house, right? He had his guest house. And the guest house, I was told the angels, they linger around there. I ain't making this up, y'all. So I went to sleep. It had Clint had to break in the guest house to wake me up because he tried calling me. They tried beating on the door. I was so peaceful. I was at a place that I never been before when it came to like peace. It was so peaceful. So okay, that was one experience. Then the second experience, I was when I was with him, it just felt peace in that area where when he was talking to me, I'm like, man, who is this guy? So then on top of that, he invited me to service. I came to service. Everybody, grace and peace, showing me love. I love the order. Start seeing order. So I told Clint, I was like, man, I'm considering moving out here. I said that. I didn't think he was gonna go back to tell Apostle. So he went back to tell Apostle, and the Apostle started telling me to pray about it and things like that because he never did give me any answers, or even when I asked, I moved out here, he wouldn't tell me yes or no. He would just say pray about it. So I was like, I have to lean on God for it, right? Yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm going too long with it, bro.
You good.
Okay. So you had any questions for me?
No. Oh. You good.
Okay.
So let me ask you this then, since you said, do I have any questions for you? So at this moment, when you're thinking about moving up here, is like, are you nervous? Did you have any misgivings? Did you feel like, okay.
I was nervous because for one, I'm in a foreign land. We in Detroit, man. You know how many bad stuff I hear about Detroit? Oh my God. Hey, people like, man, you better get shot up down there. And then people like, man, you about to freeze down there. It's too cold. And I'm like, man, you're right. So now I'm getting a little doubt in my mind about this thing. Now I'm like, dog, am I making the right move? Yeah. Because whenever I decide to move here, even though Apostle never told me yes or no, I would take faith moves, right? And it seemed like every time I would take that faith step, it seemed like something was underneath me, keeping me going. It was like kept going. So I just kept going as I was. I mean, people offered me to use their car, like, because at the time I didn't have that big of a vehicle to transport my all my things, which I didn't have that much at the time, anyways. But we did have cars. I can say that. Me and my wife, we had nice cars, but we didn't know how to manage that good until now. But what I want to say is that I did have some nervousness. I did have some doubt, but then that little small seed of faith I had to, and it's like, even Apostle, he sent me some stuff too, where he encouraged me. He was sending me, I forgot what, I still have that scripture in my, it was something about it was an Abraham scripture. It's in my my old phone. It was an Abraham scripture where God told Abraham to leave his family, right? And God had promised him this, like he had everything for him. Like, and so when he said it to him, he made it personal. When he texted to him, he put my name in it. God has this, So anyways, whatever he sent me, it boosted me up. It gave me some more faith. And then after I got boosted up with faith, then I got these people in my ear. Man, you sure that's what God told you to do? Man, you sure that's what you want? Oh man.
Because here's the thing. People are leaving Detroit, moving other places. People leaving Detroit to move to Atlanta and Arizona and Texas and all these other places. And now here you already in Texas, and God's telling you to come up here. A place where people are saying it's barren up here. It's poverty, it's this, there's no opportunities, ain't no money here, blah, 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 blah.
No, let me tell you, Detroit is like the land of milk and honey. I promise you. It's just, I see it as like it's some dust over. Sometimes some stuff may get dusty. You gotta like dust it off, and it's like, whoa, it's a hidden gem. Even some of the houses look like it was like horrible. I took a house like the building you saw that I had. That building was burnt down. It didn't have no roof on it, but I had vision. That's one thing you gotta have is vision. Vision can take you places. Vision can take you, I mean, to wherever you. Vision is so key, man. Even when it's real estate that I do, I always set a plan and a vision. Like, okay, I can see this, I can see that, I can see the new walls, I can see the new doors, I can see the, you know what I mean? So vision is so key. So yeah, Detroit is like Atlanta, milk and honey. I can tell you that because a lot of people are leaving. Like, ain't nothing here in Detroit, man. Hey, I'm proven. I have proven that there is something here in Detroit. You just gotta want it. You gotta have that hunger. You gotta have that dog, that fight in you. You know what I mean? You gotta want it. You gotta want it. And so a lot of people don't want it. They want handouts. People want free stuff. People don't want to get it out the mud. They don't want to go in the trenches. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the mud. Like, I'm out there. Ask everybody that work with me or work for me or who knows me. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna make it happen. No,
yes, sir.
To me, it's no problem. It's always a solution to a problem. But to get back on topic. So like I said, I moved my family down here. Even when I got here, as a matter of fact, too, I even got blessed with a gift card. It wasn't a gift card. It was a credit card my dad gave me for gas. He's like, here you go, son. I'm gonna bless you with this. So just use it and mail it when you finally get to Detroit or Michigan somewhere. Just ship it back to me. I was like, look at God. So God was still meeting me every step of the way. I just had to continue to have faith and trust God. And it was like every time I would step out there on faith and trust God, it was like, okay, God applied this, God applied to God. It was like God was meeting me every step of the way. So when I got here, I still had some stuff trying to stop me. I couldn't find a place to stay. I couldn't find a place to stay. So I began to tell her, I was like, well, maybe it ain't for me then. God, maybe this is, I done got here, maybe this is not for me. So maybe I need to just, start thinking about going back because I couldn't get approved anywhere. Like my credit wasn't that good. I didn't have any good references. No, I didn't really know nobody. I can use Apostle. I think I use him as a reference. He don't even really know me like that either. So that when they ask him, like, hey, how long have you known Kerry? Oh, I know him 6 months or whatever. Like, what? How you know his character? How you know if he gonna pay me or whatever? But anyways, but let me tell you, Apostle said, stay one more day, and we'll pray about it. Stay one more day, and just keep searching. So I'm like, nah. So I did. I stayed another day.
So you were thinking about going back?
Yeah, I was thinking about going back. I was thinking about because I like, well, maybe it's not going to work because I'm not getting approved anywhere. So maybe it just, at least I tried. So I had it in my mind, like maybe it's not the season, so I'm trying to think positive, even though I'm feeling it, but I'm starting to think positive at it. And I'm still keeping that little mustard seed of faith. So now this guy, he saw favor him. He was like, man, Kerry, he called me. He was like, you know what, Kerry, you sound like a real good guy, and I want to be able to help you. But if you could do this, I can get you this apartment, but you just can't let me down. I'm like, well, what I got to do? So I want you to pay first month's rent, and I want you to pay the first month's rent deposit. So I'm like, what?
My internet. Okay, here we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. So the guy said, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, I didn't know.
So you said the guy said, I see favor in you, and I want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the guy said he saw a favor in me. He said, I want to help you. He said, if you can pay first month's rent, and the first month's rent as a deposit. So whatever my monthly rent was, I had to pay that as a deposit as well. He can move me in. So I believe I had to come up with almost about $2,500 to move in. I was in Farmington Hills, a nice area too in Michigan, in Farmington Hills. And I was like, yo, that's God. And I was like, well, hey, I had that saved. Now, just to keep in mind, I didn't come down here with that much cash.
Okay.
I didn't come down. I don't even know how I even came up with the rest of that. It was God. It was supernatural how it happened. I mean, I came up with that 25 and down, and I'm telling you, it was like God met me every step of the way, Minister Joe. So, All right, now let's get to the meat of this story. So now I'm here. I'm being I found a job instantly. That's one thing about me. I always find a job. Like I keep a job. I always kept a job. Even if I didn't have a job, I find a way to make money, a side hustle. I always found ways to make money. So I found a job working as a truck driver, which is what I was doing in Texas, because I have a good resume and experience. So it's easy for me to find a job because I'm a CDL licensed driver. So I found a job, and when I got that job, it kept me away from church. Well, we call it ministry. It kept me away from ministry because I would work so many long hours. I'd be tired. Some days I work Saturdays, and we all know that we have our Sabbath service on Saturdays. So then Apostle began to talk to me. He began to ask me what would help me as far as get off that job so I can help him, do full-time ministry. Well, anyways, he found a creative way to get me off the job so that way I can spend more time with God and help serve in the ministry, right? So I began to manage Apostle Wayne T. Jackson's properties. For those that don't know, Apostle Wayne T. Jackson is not just a pastor, he's also a businessman, a very good businessman, a very good negotiator.
Absolutely. Oh man,
like him, he's out cold. So I began to work for him. I began to manage the properties. I didn't even know how to manage at the time. I learned. I got a lot of rebukes and I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned, not knowing that God wanted me, because God would always put you around where he wants to take you. Always remember that. God will always put you around where he wants to take you. He will always cause you to do things where he wants to, I guess, get you familiar with. He want to get you around it so he can get you familiar with it. So when you have it, you know how to manage it. You know how to operate it. You know, just like when I was mentioning about when I worked for a trash company, like I now own a trash company. And I have a partner in it as well. I joined with me, but I went from working for a trash truck company now owning a trash truck company. But I get to that too. So now, as I begin to work for Apostle Wayne T. Jackson, I begin to manage his properties. I begin to find him deals. So I begin to sharpen in my tools. I'm a good networker already because that's what I was doing in Texas. I was always networking, finding people. So now I kind of use my gifting to find investors, start networking with people, and I was started finding them deals, and then they want to tuck me under their wing. Don't tell nobody else about that deal. You know what I mean? Or I would find them deals. I was always hitting the ground running, and just like when you saw me, I was a big ball of energy. You know what I mean? I'm like that. I gotta be that way. You gotta be hungry. That's the only way to get it. Is to get it.
Yes. Now you just said what you're speaking on right now is a very important principle, and I want my fusion listeners. Sorry, I got this earpiece in my ear. I want my fusion listeners to really catch this principle, because even though you were working for Apostle Jackson, at the same time you're learning the game.
Yes.
You're not just working and getting paid and going home and chilling. You're actually figuring out how this game works. And I try to tell people that whatever job you work in, I don't care if you a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or you work at McDonald's, learn the game of if you work at McDonald's, learn everything you can learn about the restaurant business. Learn
Facts.
everything you can learn about the processes and how they do things, and the supply chain, and how they order supplies, and how they order
Mm-hmm.
the things that they, what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
there may be a business opportunity in that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say a job is a great opportunity to get paid to learn an industry. And you
Yes.
took full advantage of that.
Full advantage of it. Full advantage of it. And like I said, I learned a lot too, just working underneath the apostle. Like I learned a lot. And then not only that, I became affiliated with some of his people that he was that had influence over. And I began to learn from them and get connected. And then people were like, you making Apostle Wayne T. Jackson this, you doing this for him. I want this. So people start reaching out to me, you know what I mean? So it's just, bro, doors open up, man. And let me tell you this is another key thing too. Don't look for a handout, but look for a hand up. When you have that in your mindset, like Minister Joe was talking about this earlier, and I would say this is so true. Where about mentorship, and he was also talking about how learn the mindset of a successful person, whatever. So before I met Apostle Jackson, I was listening to audios. I was listening to YouTube. I was listening to Napoleon Hill. I was listening to Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to great Les Brown. You know what I mean? And then one thing that I learned from Napoleon Hill out of that Think and Grow Rich book. Oh my, have you read that, Minister Joe?
Yes, sir.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
You know what he did? He was being mentored by Carnegie. Was it Andrew Carnegie?
Yes.
He was being so what he didn't, he didn't receive a dime. He was working him literally for free.
Wow. Yeah.
But he saw more value in money. He saw more value in the knowledge that he had, that his mentor had, than money. Yes. So that's the same thing. I use that same principle that he did. I saw more value helping Apostle out. What you need, sir? What do you need, sir? You need that? Oh, you need to go to state? I just want to be around it. I want to be around success, because what it does, it rubs off on you. It rubs off on you. You become it. Because like he said this before, it's one of his sayings is that who you're around is who you're likely to become. And it's so true. Now I'm starting to see myself going on these meetings with my bow tie and talking the way I try it too. I be trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to negotiate the way he do it. But when I tell you,
you know what? 1 second, because I want to drive this point home, because that's a principle that I even used even in my early days as a musician and as a music producer and things like that. Back in the day, if I had a friend, or even if I just met somebody that was going in the studio, I would say, hey man, can I just come hang out in the studio? I would go and sit there. I wouldn't say nothing. I didn't ask no questions.
Yeah.
I was quiet, because I didn't want to be in the mix, and I didn't want to be in the way to where I don't get asked or invited back. So I would go and I would just hang out, and I would just watch, and I would just listen to their conversations. I would listen to the language that they used. So I would learn the language and the process just from sitting there being quiet.
See?
And, so then when it was time for me to produce my own stuff, or, to step out on my own, I had a whole knowledge base to pull from. Same thing with being a musician. Hey man, can I just come to your rehearsal, man, and just sit and watch? And that is so key, so much. And I always tell people, because sometimes people can miss opportunities, to your point. Sometimes people can miss opportunities to grow and prosper because they're looking for a check, or because they're looking for, money, or I ain't doing that for free, or you ain't finna use me. Well, how they using you if you learning? You gaining something that's more important than any money that they could give you. Because you're going to spend that money. You're going to pay bills with it. You're going to go out to eat with it. You're going to get your hair cut or your hair done with it. But the knowledge goes with you for forever.
Forever, bro. I mean, forever. I'm glad it's a principle that worked, man. So I encourage y'all, man, when you see something that's successful, just so into it, man. So into where you want to go. Into where you want to go. It don't have to be money. It could be your time. It could be what you're gifted at, what you have knowledge about, whatever what you can do to help them. Because if you help them, they're gonna help you.
Yeah,
it's just how it is. And one thing I love too in the Bible, it always has these stories about, you know, when people came to the king, what they do, they had offerings, they had things they wanted to, you know, they didn't come empty-handed when they met a king.
Right.
One thing a king likes too is that he want to show you who's king.
Mm-hmm.
He want to show you who's king. So you bless.
Yeah.
Oh, he see your heart. Let me bless you. So it works that way, man. I don't know what it is, but when it just opens, it gets to their heart, man. When when they see that you're trying to be a blessing to them, they're gonna bless you.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So now you came up here to Detroit from Texas with your family. You start managing Apostle Jackson's properties. You're learning the real estate game. You're making contacts. You're going to meetings. You're meeting people. So then take me from there.
So when I'm going into the meetings, meeting people.
Like when you start moving into your own real estate portfolio and business.
Okay. So so when I started seeing the money that was being made in this business, like let me tell you this. I actually did a little real estate when I was in Texas, but not knowing that I was going to be here in Michigan doing this. Right. My dad I helped my dad acquire a foreclosed home. And I helped him put tenants in there and everything as well. Like everything. We got the contractors. I would oversee it. We would look at the punch sheet to see what the rehab expense was. Like I pretty much helped my dad out with that, right? My dad and my mom. It was in the investment together. So I helped them with that, right? So not knowing that I'll be here in Michigan doing this, right?
Right.
So whenever I was starting to do this with Apostle, I started seeing other deals that would come across my table. Because believe it or not, people that seen that I was connected to the Apostle, they wanted to get to him as well. So they wanted to send deals. So what I would do, I would have to screen people before I present something to him. Because one thing I learned from Apostle, don't bring him no crap. Like, don't waste his time. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to do that no more because I got a few rebukes for wasting his time. You know what I mean? So I had to learn, hey, let me learn this stuff. Let me screen people. Let me see if they real. Because it's a lot of fakers out there that fake it like they got it, or they trying to come up on you. You know what I mean? Come up. So I had to learn how to screen people. So that's how I began to get more into my deals, where if it's some deal he didn't want to take, I already had examined the person. I already had studied. I already had did my research and my homework on it. So now I'm like, yeah, this is a deal that I would take. You know, I would do this, you know, and I would structure different deals. I would read books and how to do this deal, even with doing wholesaling. Because like a lot of people don't know that I didn't start off with just cash to buy property. What I did was I used my skills that I had as a people's person to negotiate with a dude that wasn't even here in Michigan. He was in California, and the property was so cheap that I was like, this can't be true. But then I was like, well, then again, it's Detroit. A lot of people don't see the value. So I took that chance. I wired the guy $1,000, and the guy ended up sending me the deed through the mail. It was called a overnight. He overnighted the deed. So we built that trust, not knowing this guy ended up having multiple properties. Now I got an inventory, because that's my connect. Like back in the day when I was selling drugs, I had my connect. You know what I mean? So now my guy, the property, you see, I kind of use it the same way, but the right way now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now he's my plug. So this guy was so smart. To this day, I manage his properties, and he still pays me. We're in the pandemic, COVID-19. He still pays me my management fee. I'm like, whoa, he's not even collecting no rent, but he still pays me. He knows the value that I have, my time. So he knows I was with him since the beginning. So just to give you the process or to give you my story on how I got into the real estate, is because I started screening people, and I started learning it even more. And I started studying what it is. Okay, what things I need to know before presenting a deal to Apostle, or what things I need to know, you know, what people I need to put in my team. Oh, I need a title agent. I need a realtor. Or I need somebody that's seasoned, that knows the real estate game. Maybe I pick a lot of people's brain. I go downtown. I love downtown. It's full of opportunities downtown. When you go downtown open, I'll be like, yo, you an investor. I can spot people out a mile away. Yeah, he an investor. Look the way he walk. He walking with purpose. You know, you know what I mean? It's just, you can tell, man. He's busy on the phone. He's busy. I'm always busy. Apostle's busy. Most things you know about busy people, God uses busy people. Have you ever noticed that? Like most pastors or people who are successful, they're like busy. The reason why God used them, because they're not lazy. They're gonna go make it happen. They're very determined. They're very driven. And you know what I mean? Now I see why God uses me, because I'm very driven. I'm very passionate. I'm like, let's go get it. Let's make it happen. Those that
Yeah.
follow me on social media, I'm always talking about let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. And but yeah, Mr. Joe, I can go on forever. I can go on
So
forever talking about this.
so now so now you've built a portfolio, you've made these connections, and one of the things that really, one day you and I sat down and had a conversation. I think it was that day we went to lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, we
Good.
went to lunch,
Yeah.
and when you got to breaking down like the people you were rubbing shoulders with, first of all, let's backtrack.
Okay.
First of all, let's backtrack. When you first came here and you were bringing the artists and stuff like that to the ministry to perform,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how he know these people? I'm like, these people I know, but I've been here my whole life. I'm like,
Yeah.
this dude just got here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went out to lunch, and you were telling me about the investors and the money people that you were kicking it with, and you're like, yeah, my guy was in Birmingham hanging out with my guy the other day, and blah blah blah. I'm like, how does he know these people?
Mm-hmm.
You are a master networker, and God has given you literally a spirit of favor,
Baby, yeah.
and it's really accelerated favor, because you made so many connections so fast.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
tell the people how you did that? How you do that?
Man, just going after it, man. Like, I always see every opportunity. I seize every opportunity. Like, everywhere I go, I know there's a reason. If I'm at an event, I know it's somebody I'm going to meet. If I'm at another ministry, I know it's somebody I'm going to meet. If I'm downtown, I know it's somebody I'm going to meet. I create opportunities. And I don't wait for opportunities. I create them. I even I love giving people platforms. I love seeing value in people. I love identifying what they're good at and be like, yo, we can use your help over here. Or yo, I love to show your talent over here. They give you some exposure. Like, yo, you know what I mean? So I'm just the type that I love to just love people. I love people, and I love to see them win. I love to see them win. I hate seeing people lose or down and out. I want to see them win, bro. And that's how I know God has used me I didn't notice this until I moved here. Actually, that was a gift. I didn't know that was one gifting, as being a connector. Yes. And some of the guys in the ministry that even that played with you during the ministry was Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, I got Bill. Yeah, he plays. That was God connected me with him. Freddie Torres and them. God connected. Look at him. So God connected me with all these people, because I always see that you need people in the kingdom to help build, man. You need people. So I know I crossed paths with them for a reason. I don't think God spared my life. As I was talking about my testimony, I don't think that I just know that I'm here for a reason, and I'm walking in my purpose right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know that everything I encounter, every person I encounter, I know there's a purpose and there's a reason. So I cultivate that. I find a way to get their attention, create opportunities.
Now tell me about the moment when you realized that you transferred from coming up here with nothing, you hustling, you got your hustle on, now you're starting to see money. What was that moment like when you're like, oh, I got money?
Yo, that moment. What was that moment? I think I made the $10,000 deal was good, but I still was like hungry for more. When I first did my $10,000 deal, that was like, that was good. That was all right. 10,000, all right. I was like, if that was that easy, I can make more. So I started seeing the bigger picture. I started seeing like 100,000. When I seen that 10,000, if I did that, I'd do 10 more of these deals. 9 more, because I did 10. I'm gonna have 100,000. So I started brainstorming and strategizing how I can really do this and then find ways to just keep investing my money in, right? So to answer your question about how I felt when I first seen that money, I think it was a deal that I made like over 100 thousand on, right? On a deal I made over like 150 something thousand on. And I was like, yo, it's some money. We're going to Florida. Me and the family went out to Florida. Me and the family, we had a good time on the beach, But one thing I can tell you, man, is that it's not, Pastor always teaches this, it's not what you have, it's what you keep. So he drilled that in me early on. He drilled that in me early on. So I'm not the type that'll be stunting. I'm not the type that wear all the fancy clothes, because be honest with you, some of the cats I know that be rocking that, they broke. They
Yes.
be kind of rock the fancy name brand Louis Vuittons, and they ain't got nothing, you know. I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real, bro. I mean, it's just like, why have that? We don't even have a life savings, or you don't even have even insurance on your flesh, life insurance, or you don't even have a car, a house. Like, you don't even own real estate. Like, why even buy these fancy things when you don't? So now I get it. I know about what you keep. It's like, you got to keep it. Whatever it took for you to get it, you got to continue to do that, and not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going. So that's why I'm very wise when it comes to how to spend my money. I invest in majority of all the funds that I've made is back into investments, because money don't make you rich. Real estate does. Assets make you rich. You're wealthy when you have assets. But when you have money, money can go here and there, man. Somebody can just wipe your account out. But when you put it in hard assets, that asset begin to start generating income, then, you know what I'm saying, then you start making, look, check this out. Then you let that rental property pay for your vacation. That rental property pay for your car note. That rental property pay for your getaway somewhere, you know, man. That rental property pay for your Louis Vuitton and your designer clothing. That's when you winning. That's when you know you got money.
Yeah.
When you know you got money.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So you develop the discipline, because see, a lot of times, especially in our community, what we see in terms of wealth is usually over the top, ostentatious display of wealth from rappers or you know, athletes. We see them balling out, so we measure wealth by balling out and jewelry and chains and cars and this and that and the other. But you had to discipline yourself and say, okay, it's not a time to stunt and ball out. It's time to invest and make some more money.
Yeah. Let me be real with you though, man. You do have to discipline yourself, because there's a couple times I wanted to pull that stack out, put it on my ear like, hello, what up? No. Hey, a couple times I wanted to stunt on them boys. Hey, because where I come from, that's all we did was stunt.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, hey, man, I'll tell you, man, but it did take some discipline. It did take some discipline, man. And that's for it. Mentor.
Yeah, and that's what people got to understand. You know, wealth and having money is a mindset. You know, it's not just how much money you have in the bank. It's a mind, what you have up here and how you handle money, so that God can bless you with more. And I believe that that's what happened with you. The more you showed yourself a good steward, the more opportunities came.
Yes, definitely. Because look, that's the thing too, bro. God looks at this too. Management, bro. God is real big on management. God will not allow your finances to grow, your business to grow, nothing to grow in your life if you can't manage, if you can't be a good steward of what He's blessed you with. And that's what a lot of people that they fail. Even like some young pastors or pastors that may started a ministry, and you look at some ministries that have closed down. The reason why some ministries have closing down, or later back then, whatever, is because they don't know how to manage. They don't know how to manage. And I commend Apostle too, because Apostle, he has money put up, saved up. He has investments. He's still, I mean, like during this time, this COVID-19 and things like that, he's still keeping things afloat like nothing never happened. I closed some of the deals for him. I know personally that we're still been closing deals during this COVID-19. He's making it happen because Apostle is a good manager. Like, God, I'm using him as an example. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to like always. I'm just using an example because that's all I know. Like, this is what, I mean, he's my mentor. He taught me a lot. So I'm going to give you what I've learned. You know what I mean? So I have examined, I have witnessed, I have experienced it. So when I saw him, how the way he operated, I asked him a question one time. I said, sir, how do you do it? You got Great Faith Ministries, Impact Network. You have your family. You have Wayne's the property, real estate, Wayne's production, Wayne's properties. That's a lot to manage. And the reason why God could put more in his hands is because he can manage it. Because if he couldn't manage it, God wouldn't allow it to grow. So that's when it clicked to me, like managing is what's the principle of management is so powerful. Because you think about it, back in Genesis, I believe Genesis 2, God didn't cause for anything to grow, any plant, no trees, nothing to grow until there was man to work it. So right there lets you know that, hey, God is big on management. God didn't even cause for the herbs, the trees, nothing to grow until there was somebody on this planet to manage.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You
That's
know,
good. And you know what? I want to say this, and I want to circle back around to this point, that people have left Detroit to go other places to make things happen. You came to Detroit and made things happen. And you have found prosperity in a place where other people have found dryness and desolation. And so I love what you said. This is the land of milk and honey. And, you know, I always say this, you know, I was itching, you know, anybody that know me know I was Joe going to LA. All I talked about was LA, 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 LA. I'm moving to LA. I sat down. I had meetings with Apostle and Dr. Beverly to come up with an exit strategy for me to go to LA. You know, I mean, LA, 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 LA. And, but every year I would never feel the release to go. And I'm like, God, why are you keeping me here, man? It's like, ain't nothing here, man. It's like, not for what I'm trying to do, blah, 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 blah. And just in a few years' time, you know, God just began to mellow me out and say, chill out, relax. LA is coming, but there's some things you're supposed to start here. And it wasn't, it's funny you mentioned downtown, because I went downtown to something. They're probably not going to have it this year, but every year there's something called Detroit Startup Week. And it's a tech and entrepreneurship conference. And when I went down there in 2018, I met so many entrepreneurs and so many investors and so many people in the tech world and so many people. It was like this little underground thing of the type of people that I wanted to be around happening right here in Detroit. And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And so the resurgence and the revitalization that's going on here, you know, is like, I admonish people, take advantage of it, man. It's money here.
It's big money. I mean, I know 2 billionaires in my phone right now that are local. They own gas stations. They own probably like 160 gas stations in Michigan. Apostle he can tell you. I bought this. Another thing too. Apostle is such a businessman. Let me tell you. A lot of times, I'm just gonna give y'all this because I'm just being real. A lot of times when I close certain deals, like if I know somebody that's that has some power, like more power than me, or they loaded with money, I take them to the person I know that has some power too. Also, strength, respect strength. And, you know, sometimes some of the guys, they look at me like, who's this little kid? Like, what? You know what I mean? They look at me, so I know what to do with you. I'm gonna let you know who I'm connected to. You know what I mean? Let me Apostle, I let him know about him. I already screened him. Boom, set up a meeting. We go to his estate, and then now they able to see some strength too. Look who my partner is. Look who got my back.
Right.
A lot of them hard ones, I close deals with them hard ones. I bring them to somebody I know that got some power and that can show you some strength. Look what I got. Look what the Lord, you know, they see that because people, they mindset, they know what's wealth. They know what wealth is. So I take them where the wealth is. Like, look,
absolutely.
This is my mentor right here.
Yeah, because people got to understand those types of people, they've had their share of fakers and wasted time too. Fact. So just like you screening them, they looking at you like, man, who is this dude coming with this stuff? I was talking to somebody about that not too long ago, and we were talking about how, you know, and this is no shade to Detroit, but here there's a lot of fakers, and and it's a lot of good talkers. It's a lot of fast talkers, you know, and it's a lot of people that they know how to put their fronts up. So when you look at them, you like, this dude got it going on, but you just dig a little deeper beneath the surface and you're like, oh man. So, you know, that's good that, you know, you take them and let them know like, okay, no, I'm the real deal. Let me show you who I'm connected to. This my guy right here. This is my mentor right here. You know what I'm saying? That's crucial.
Man.
Because when I meet people, a lot of times I want to know, like, what's your credentials? Who you know? What's
because you want to know. You want to know like who you dealing with. Because it is like I've been hurt down here in Michigan too. Like now I ain't gonna just tell you the good and not tell you the bad. I lost money out here. I got robbed. They stole stuff from me. You know what I mean? But you gotta take the good with the bad. I ain't gonna let that. I ain't gonna dwell on it. You gotta keep it moving. Yeah. So a lot of the things I learned from it. It taught me a valuable lesson. It's like What happens when you go to school? You go to school, you have to pay for it. It costs you money. So I took it as like going to a university. Like, man, okay, that was my tuition right there. That was a valuable lesson learned. You know what I mean? So don't always see the fall or always see it as a negative. See the positive in it. See that what you learn from that. Okay, I know what to capitalize on next time. And that's never going to happen again. You know what I mean? So when I got robbed, when people broke into my properties, I capitalized on it. I got house sitters. I got people that ride past them. I got cameras. I got ADT. I got neighbors. That's one thing that's good to have too. Some nosy neighbors. Nosy neighbors is your favorite.
Nosy neighbors look out for you, bro.
Yeah, they look out for you. I love them calls. Like, oops, such and such calling. All right, who at the door? Who over there? You got somebody in the driveway.
So tell me about your garbage business. Now, you said you used to work for a garbage company. Now you own one. Talk to them about.
So the garbage company reason why I started the garbage company, first of all, is because in Detroit, there's a lot of rehabbing going on, new development going on. So where all that trash is going to go? I know this for a fact that that's one business that's not going to go away. Is the garbage business, right? I worked in it for years, for like over 10 years. So I know the ins and outs. And one thing that didn't bother me the most, but it really made me like, wow, this is a good business to have. I was working for a truck company, right? I was able to see at the end of the day, we have a debriefing. We write everything down that happened, everything down that needs attention. And then we able to see like this little sheet. On this sheet that the dispatch ended up giving me the wrong sheet, where the sheet showed how much money I made the company for that day. And it was over like 5,000. It was like 5,000 one time, like 5,000. I'm like, man, I'm getting paid $19 an hour. And I'm like getting paid on 10. I work 10 hours a day. That's like 190. So almost $200 a day. And I just made them 5,000. So I'm like, man. So that would really always been in my mindset to like, man, I want to start my own garbage company. Wait till I get it. Wait till I make some money. So when I got here, I didn't even think about it. It was still in the back of my mind. It was still something that I had in my mind. So whenever I got into the real estate, I automatically saw the need. I always look at the niche. I'm like, what's the need? That's when you thrive in business. Whenever you come up with a problem, whenever you solve a problem, come up with a problem, but solve a problem, then you're able to capitalize on that. You were able to make money on that, because one thing I seen was that Detroit had a lot of rehabbing going on. So I was like, you know what? I need to buy some dumpsters. So what I did, bought some dumpsters. And then also I bought a truck. That truck was like 75,000. But I needed that top of the line truck because I needed something that's going to be able to pull. I needed something that was going to be able to have, where it could last a long time. It was a newer truck. I didn't want to get no old school truck. I did that in the beginning, and that old school truck broke down. So you just want to go ahead and spend the investment so it can last you a while and you can get more, you can be more productive and not have breakdowns and cost you money. So with the dumpster business, I ended up partnering with a partner. They may not want me to disclose their information, but I ended up partnering with a partner, and the partner is one of my best buddies, man. Like we are buddies. Cause they're sharp. Wherever I lack, they're sharp with on the administration side. I'm not saying that I'm not sharp with it, but I don't know everything. I was good with the trash. Let me be the workman. To this day, I'm a CEO, Joseph, and I still drive my trucks and move my dumpsters around.
Yeah.
I tried. Let me tell you this. The reason why I do this, because I actually hired a guy and he wasn't honest. He was making some money on the side, wasting money. I was like, why we keep gassing up? Why is this $100 in fuel every 2-3 days? Like, bro, we're not even pushing dumpsters like that. What's going on? Oh man, I had to go on the east side, then I had to go all the way to the west side back to them. I'm like, bro. So you know what I did? I got smart and put a tracker on that truck. I was able to see that mug go like this, that, do zigzag. Like, where we going? I met him at a site and be like, what you doing? Stuttering like a mug.
You pulled up on him, bro.
Pulled up on him. But I was so nice and so good about it, bro. I didn't want to make, I'm not the type to try to make people bad. Even when they wrong, I just loved on them, and just like I didn't want to. I killed them with kindness. You know what I mean? Killed them with kindness. Like, pretty much you fired, but hey, I can't. I don't need you no more. But it is what it is, bro. So in this business, I'm in the profit to make money, not to lose money. So it is what it is. Sometimes I hate being a bad cop. Like, that's another thing too. I have a management company, right? I manage properties. I have a worker he's a bad cop. He don't mind being a bad cop. I'm the good cop because I can't do it. I don't know why. I just don't have it in me to do it. Like even when I work for Apostles Properties, like right, I'm the good guy. He causes me to do the good work when it comes to like cheering people up, whatever, making sure customer service. Then he has other people that's on his team where he got the bad guys, where he pulled me out of it. He's like, Kerry, I'm gonna get such and such to do it because even Merv, I was saying Merv is another guy we use as our street guy to go out there and do the bad cop,
the dirty work,
the dirty work. You know what I mean? Like, where's the rent? You don't need a rent, eviction notice, da. I'm like, you have to rent for this month. You know, I hate being a bad cop with bad news. I love good news.
But this is a principle. This is still a principle. This is a business principle that even CEOs and of billion-dollar corporations tell you, that you surround yourself with people who are good at what you're not good at.
Yeah,
you don't have to be good at everything. Yep. Just stick to what you're good at and partner with or hire people that can do the things that you're not good at. That's a success principle right there, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's a very success principle. I mean, but just to answer your question about the that's how the business got started with the dumpster business, was really just seeing the need and took action. I didn't talk about it. I came up with a plan. And that's another thing too. A lot of people, they like to plan but don't have to take actions. So before you get into any investment, you always want to have, this is the simplest way I can put it. KSE. KSE stands for, you get knowledge about that thing you're about to do. The S stands for strategy. Once you get the knowledge about that business or whatever you're trying to do, you strategize how you can make money, how you can do this, how you're going to get the information you need. You know what I'm saying? As far as how to start getting it, making it happen. All right. Once you strategize and get all this stuff mapped out, now you execute. I even executed on some of the things I didn't even have the money for at the time. I just put it in my spirit. I begin to be around it. I begin to look at it. I begin to pray on it. I begin to fast on it. I'm hey, it's gonna happen. And it's so crazy. But like, your faith can take you places, man. Your faith and your vision can take you places. Like, you add your faith to the vision that you have, man. It takes you places. I mean, sometimes God blows my mind all the time, but God blew my mind with me having a $3.5 million real estate. I still sometimes be like, what in the world? 3.5 million in real estate? This is crazy. I can liquidate that and just be, I want to vacate. I still got goals to meet. I have things that I want to contribute towards. And the only way I contribute towards those things that I believe in, I have to have money. I have to have money. I want to be able to build wells in Africa, and I want to be able to build houses for single mothers and put them in different programs. But you can't do that without no money. We can talk about it all day, but if you ain't putting no plan together, you ain't making no money, it ain't gonna happen. So that's the thing I always want to tell people, is always have the knowledge about it. You always want to strategize about it, and then you always want to execute. And then when you execute the plan, before you execute, you always want to have an exit strategy too, because even in real estate, I always put an exit strategy together, because you don't know where this economy may shift to or whatever. Like I notice how the rich think, the wealthy think. They always have several streams of income, right? You want to have a portfolio in gold, a portfolio in silver, portfolio in cryptocurrency, a portfolio in real estate. You see what I'm saying? You want to have several streams of income, stocks, a portfolio in stocks. So you want to spread your money out and make those investments. I love what Joe was saying earlier about the talent, the 5 talents. It's funny you was talking about it, because I was just reading on it how like the master literally called him the person that saved his money, that didn't make no investments. He called him a wicked. He called him a wicked servant.
Yep.
He called him a wicked servant. So what did I tell you, man? God, and it was a parable. This was a parable that Jesus was saying, right, to the disciples. It was a parable. So it lets me know that the mindset of Jesus, what he was telling you, like, for you not to be productive, for you not to, I gave you this to make money in. I gave you if you don't have the money, I gave you the ideas, I gave you the connections to make it happen, whatever. Just be creative. Like when I make deals, every deal that I make is not the same. Every deal is different. Every deal is different because I structured it that way. God said he gave us the power to create wealth. It's biblical. It's the word. He gave us the power to create wealth. So that means we can create it. We can structure, strategize, and then execute.
Yes.
That's the word, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's Bible faith.
Yes, sir. I'm glad we getting some good nuggets and some good jewels out of this conversation, man. Because that's what I want people to have is, a lot of times we hear about people's success, but these are the principles, the nuts and bolts principles of building that success, man. And so I appreciate it. Let me ask you this. Uh, there may be people out here who are interested in getting into real estate. What tips or just practical tips would you give for somebody that that's want to get into that game?
Yeah. Okay. So, man, first of all, like I told you, you want to get the knowledge about it, and you want to and when you get this is one of the ways you get the knowledge about it, right? I'm just gonna tell you, get courses. I even provided a course that I just recently did. The registration has been closed, but I'm also going to be giving out that course pretty soon. I got to get with Kaya and everybody on my team about that, but we're going to be giving away the course that I had. But this course that I had, where I'm giving away a land. I'm giving away some land. This land is worth like $40,000, Minister Joe. It's worth some money. So this land, with his people taking the course, with this course that they take, I taught them things about like the nine team members they need on their team. I can't with it, right? So the 9 team members they need on their team. And I went into details about it, and I also talk about how they can get funded and so on, and why, how to be an investor, pretty much. So with this course, I kind of made it very interesting and very, like, I gave an incentive. They have to do an evaluation after the course, and after the course, I'm gonna have I don't want to give it away, but I'm gonna say it. You guys get the first sneak peek of what I'm about to do. So what I'm gonna do is I have some known investors it's gonna be like Shark Tank, where they gotta come up with a plan on what they're gonna do with that land. Oh, that rhyme. Come up with a plan on what they're gonna do with the land. And it's like deal or no deal. And it's gonna be so cutthroat, where I don't want it to be easy. I want it to be heart pounding. I want it to be a hard decision. I want them to get in or go in on them. I'm like, I don't think that's worth my investment. Why would you do this? I want it to be so much interaction. So I want to get some known names in there. I already have Dr. Jewel Tankard. She already said, count me in. You know what I'm saying? So prayerfully, I can get Kim or Robert in, or I can get Jay Morrison in. I'm gonna chop it up with Jay Morrison about it, see if he'd be willing to be one of my investors that's gonna take it. I may ask John Copeland. He's a great real estate investor, and like I said, I want it to be so hard where I wanted to, because like in life, nothing's easy in life. You got to be persistent. You got to stay beating on that craft until something break.
Yes,
happen. And that's what I'm gonna do. So for that first time investor, I encourage you to either get my book. It's not book, but my course, e-course, that will teach you the 9 team members you're going to need on your team, and also going to go into details about other things as far as being investors, what to look out for, why to have an exit plan, and also funding options. And also I advise you guys to YouTube. YouTube is the best university there is. Search how to do this, just how to, whatever that you need to learn. If it's real estate, if it's starting a business, startup, whatever business it is, just type in how to, and you will find some good information on YouTube for free. Even Google's your best friend, and then also the main thing, dude, I got to mention this. The main thing is get a mentor. To get a mentor. So I found out this too. A lot of people can't get a mentor physically, but you can have a mentor online. You can have a mentor. Like before I met Apostle, guess who was my mentor online? It was Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Napoleon Hill. I was listening to all this good stuff, man. It was some good stuff I was getting out of that. I was like, yo, so they had a wealth of information. So what happens is when you start studying and you start reading their books or listen to their audio, you begin to get their mindset, the way they think. And then you begin to, like, I don't know, you just begin to use those principles, and it worked, because it worked for me. When I started using stuff from Think and Grow Rich, that thing started working. I was like, yo, this is some good stuff. But that would be my advice, man, is that get a mentor. If you can't get a mentor physically, get on the YouTube, Google, get around it. Just get around it. Find a way. Make an excuse. Can I sweep that up for you? Yo, you need help on this thing? Can I work the cameras for you? Can I sign your shoe? Man, it don't matter. Get out of the mindset of like looking like a punk or wimp or you weak. Forget all that.
Yeah.
It's about building legacy, get knowledge, because the end of the day, man, I want my children. The Bible talks about a good man lays in the inheritance, like a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. And I want to leave that. That's why what I teach is all about generational wealth, because I don't want it to be an overnight thing. I don't want it to be, because the overnight things is you're gonna be broke the next day or later on. But when you talk about the generational wealth stuff, lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Now,
families are blessed.
Absolutely. Now, talk a little bit about because some people, may not want to invest in. They don't want to do the dirty work of buying a property and fixing it up and finding a contractor and doing this and doing that, but they want to invest in real estate. So we were talking earlier about like real estate investment trust or different ways that you can invest in real estate without having to have your hands on actual properties. Talk a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, so you can invest in certain things called a real estate trust investment. So real estate, which is something that I'm actually doing right now. It's going to be being published pretty soon. So with the real estate trust investment, it's a platform that allows an investor to purchase real estate without even being there. Everything is like online. You can see all the details, the pro forma. You'll see what your return on your investment is going to be for your share. It's so much information on there that you wouldn't even have no questions. Like literally, you wouldn't have no questions because everything is going to be put on that platform. So for those that may want to invest a little bit, and I'm going to make it easy for those to invest too. Like I'm starting as low as $250 for you to get a share in a maybe a 42 unit apartment, an 8 unit apartment. I got plenty of properties to do this. So I got the assets. All I need, all I would do is find a creative way to make other people win. And it's something Jay Morrison does as well. He does it with his academy. He has his real estate trust account where he does it where people think the minimum is like 500. So he gives everybody an opportunity to invest in legacy. Like they'll have a part of that. Like years down the line, that thing gonna be worth something. Like it's gonna be worth even more down the line. Yeah. With it performing and producing. So that's what that real estate trust investment online is about. And that's one thing that's going to be popping up pretty soon. You'll see it on my page. So those that follow me at Kerry Lampkin, you'll be able to see it on my Facebook and on my Instagram and my Twitter. I'll be posting things like that on there to help, because I want to see you win too. I don't want to just be the only one out here winning. I want everybody, just like I told you before, when I was out there doing wrong, I wanted them to win too. I want them to get it as well.
So now in your portfolio, you got apartment buildings, you got like what all, you got commercial property, what all is in your portfolio?
So in my portfolio, it's a mixture. I have residential properties. I have some that's vacant. I have a lot that's vacant. Matter of fact, I'm about to do something with that because I'm starting to get them what do you call those little overgrowth grass. This thing you gotta manage. You gotta got it up, people breaking in. So I have residential properties, vacant, some are performing, rental property. I love the rental property because that's income coming in consistently. It's like I see it as a paycheck. When I get a rental property, it's like a paycheck. So this rental property is 800. This rental property is 800. So if I got 5 rental properties, right, that's 5 checks I'm getting in a month coming in at 800. So just that's how I structure it in my mind. I see it as like rental property, paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I have that. I also have 8 units. I have 2 8 units. I already had 1 8 unit. I just acquired another 8 unit. I did a joint venture with a property with my pastor with 2 properties. I bought them in on a deal, a 10-pack of residential properties, and I bought them in on a deal with the multi units, 8 unit apartment building, and also I bought them in on also a 42 unit recently because it was I could have did it myself, but I bought them in because I'm not gonna forget where I came from. Just how I was been giving them deals, I'm still going to give them deals, and I'm still going to make them be a part of my deal. So it's up to him if he said yes or no. So he entrusted me to, and I ain't going to disclose the amount, but he entrusted me with a large amount of money. And best believe I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I ain't losing nobody money over here. You know what I'm saying? Like my integrity is so important. Having integrity is so important. God sees everything you do. So you want to make sure that when you get in business and cash start coming in, cash start flowing, you want to have integrity.
Yeah,
integrity take you a long way. Don't let, because your character, what is they say that don't let your talent take you there and your character don't keep you.
Yes,
Talent can take you anywhere, but can your character keep you? So you want to make sure that
Absolutely.
the character keeps you there, and God continue to bless you.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, so and I also have an industrial building as well. I have an industrial building, and I also have a what do you call that? Land. I also have land. It's like, let me see, it's about 5 different things in real estate, so people don't know. You have your residential, you have your commercial, you have your land, and then you also have your industrial. So that's 4 types of real estate, you know. And I always split it up like a quadrant, right? Imagine a quadrant. You know how the quadrant goes. So on the left side of this quadrant, let's look at it like this. On the left side of the quadrant, you have your residential and your land, right? You make money on that left side. But baby, I'll tell you, on this right side of the quadrant over here, you got your commercial, then you have your industrial. That's where the money's being made, is in commercial industrial. You see, instead of me making 10,000, 20,000, 100, or 30,000, 40,000 over here on the left side of the quadrant, on this right side of the quadrant, where you have your commercial and your industrial buildings, bro, you can flip those for like millions. You can flip those for 1.5, 1.3, depending on how you do it. Even if you put a tenant in there, you sell it to an investor that's performing. I have some investors that love properties that's performing, that has tenants locked in for like 5 years or so. They love that. They love that stuff. So once I got game of that, I'm like, bro, I'm going on the right side of the quadrant and start playing with the big boy league. Like, I got investments right now in Florida, Panama Beach, Florida. I have something that's very, very big that's going to bring a great return years down the line.
Yeah.
I won't say the names. Y'all would know the names. If I said the names, who I'm partnered with and who I'm in this, y'all be crazy. Like, what? God has gave me favor with these people, man. And but yeah, man. So that's how I would put it. So the quadrant, always remember that left side is good. You can make some good money with the residential and the land. You also make big money with the commercial and industrial building. So just like the quadrant, have you heard of the quadrant with Robert Kiyosaki, where he talked about the employee?
Yes,
and self-employed?
absolutely.
Then you got your business, then you got your investment. So,
I like that.
You see what I'm saying? You see how the right side of the quadrant is where the money's being made?
Absolutely.
So, but let me tell you this. Let me inspire you. Let me encourage you on this one. So even though you're on the left side of the quadrant, always having your mindset set on the right side. Like, be building while you're on the left side of the quadrant, while you working for that employee, while you working for whoever. Are you a self-employed as a doctor or a nurse or whatever? If you're self-employed, even though you're on that side, still be building your empire on this right side. Be coming up with a system. People buy into systems. People buy and look at McDonald's and all those franchises. Those are systems that franchises, that are systems that are already created that's going to automatically make them money. So you can invest in stuff like that, something that's already going to make you money. You don't have to advertise. It's already going to sell itself. Just get the location. Then if you set up a business, you have a business that sky's like, no sky is the limit. Like, you can go to Mars with it. You know what I mean? You don't have you work on this right side of the quadrant as an employee forever, as a self-employed. You're going to have a cap. They're not going to pay you that much. They're going to cap you off because you make it too much. You're going to either make $50,000 a year or $60,000 a year.
Right.
That's much you're gonna make. But when you own your own, sky's it, man. I'm telling you, I got so much stuff I'm sitting on right now. I'm just sitting waiting. I'm so low key 2 minutes of Joseph because I want God to elevate me. I want God to be the one that boasts about me and put me on the platform. I ain't got to do it. It's gonna speak for itself. The wealth is gonna speak for itself. So I'm building right now. So later on, people are like, man, that old Kerry, man, I didn't know he was doing that. Dang, just like how you said when I was building that that property, that building that you went by,
commercial building on Warren.
I just low key with it. Low key with it. And then let God just elevate me and show, you know what I mean? So just know that the higher you go, you're gonna have to work these principles and continue whatever you took to get you there. You got to continue to do that thing. Continue to give your time to give your tithes. Continue to do those principle things, because principle is gonna really keep you.
Yeah. And here's another principle too, when you were talking about you being low key, for our listeners, sometimes the most powerful guy or the guy that's got it going on is not the loudest guy in the room. You know, we always hear that saying, the most powerful guy in the room is not the loudest guy in the room. And so, you know, if a person didn't know you, they wouldn't know that you even had all this going on, because I didn't know. You know, I remember coming to you at the ministry and was like, that building you posted online, that's your building. Like I had no idea. And so you got to be careful how you treat people, because you don't know what people sitting on, you don't know what people are doing, you don't know who people know. You know, and sometimes when people think that when people think you're not a big deal, sometimes they can play you like you're a little fella and they don't even know you really that guy. You know what I'm saying?
You just said something that was so powerful when it comes to like treat people right. You never know who you come across. A lot of things that I did for people, just trying to create opportunities. And like I said, I'm a networker. Never knew that. Just give you an example. Not too long ago, it was a guy. I was at Panera Bread. This dude was nosy. He was all in my business. He was kind of a little irritating me because I was trying to handle my business. I was on the phone and he was just staring at me, and then he was just kept staring at me. He was all in my business, and I'm like, man, what are you looking at? Like, you know what I mean? But I treated him right. I'm like, how you doing, sir? God bless you. You know, just gave him, you know, and then that's when he opened up to start talking to me. So I guess I gave him the open to the door to just come start speaking to me, not knowing this guy is a multi-millionaire that owns multiple massage envies in Michigan. He owns one in not just Michigan, other states too. He owns one that's right over here in Northville. And he not only does he owns massage envies, he owns this health fitness thing. And I Googled him. He was a doctor. I was like, yo, this is crazy, because like if I would have had been mean or just like left somewhere, you know what I mean? That's an opportunity. Now this guy is texting me saying, hey, what type of investment deals you got?
Wow.
And I began to tell he was listening to my conversation. That's why he was listening to what I was saying. I was talking numbers. I was on his level when it came to like, okay, I see what he's saying. I'm talking numbers like crazy. And I got another investor on the phone that I'm talking numbers to, and he loved what I'm saying. It's like music to his ears. So he was like, what is this guy talking about? So he seen that opportunity and created an opportunity, found an open door to talk to me, even though I was busy. I was like, hey, can I call you back, Victor? Yes, sir. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm in the middle of something. So I had to hang up and talk to him. That's when I began to tell him everything about me, not knowing who he was. I was just open, kind-hearted to take the time out to hear what he had to say, because I knew he wanted something, because he kept staring at me, kept looking. I knew he wanted to talk. But I took the time. That's why when you said be careful who you treat, you never know who is who. That was so powerful. That was so powerful, bro, because you never know who is who, bro. You can be talking to a billionaire and you mistreated him. You just blew your opportunity. God has sent you something, sent a blessing your way for you a talent. See it as a talent. God has sent you a talent, and now you just buried it. Literally.
Absolutely. I remember one time I was in Birmingham, and I was at an establishment, and I was on my computer writing a script. I was working on a script, and there was a couple of gentlemen sitting to my right, and I guess he could see over my shoulder that I was working on the script. And so, you know, when his buddy got up to go to the bathroom, you know, he was like, so what you writing there? Now I could have had an attitude and been like, man, why are you worried about it? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I was like, oh, I'm working on a script and blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, wow. He's like, you know, I've always been fascinated with that stuff. And so we got to talking. And so he's like, so what do you do exactly? And I was like, well, I do stage plays, and I'm getting into film and this and that and the other, blah, 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 blah. So since he asked me, I asked him, I was like, so what do you do? He was like, oh, I own 2 manufacturing plants. He's like, I own one in Mexico. I just got back from Mexico checking on one of my plants, and I have another one, you know, here in Michigan. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But another time I was in that same establishment, same thing happening. Guy was like, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm in the entertainment business. I do blah, 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 blah. I said, what do you do? He's like, I own a factory that makes airplane fuselages. I was like, wow. And he's just, you know, a regular guy. And some of those guys, they dress normal, but you can look at their watch or you can look at their shoes and see like, oh, this guy got money, even though he's low key. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to be warm, to be cordial. You know, sometimes we as Black people, we don't like people being nosy. Yeah. You know, asking us about our business. But
bro, that was good. I'm glad you brought that up, Minister Joe. Like that was, I know I didn't have that plan to talk about, but that was so powerful, bro, because that is so true. Like you gotta just treat people right. And open up conversation. Don't be what is it called, an introvert? Yes. You know, don't be such an introvert. Like find a creative way. If you're not a talker, say something, say hi. How you
Right.
doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let that open up the door for conversation, because conversation
Absolutely.
does open up some doors, and I'm a witness of it, and Minister
Yep.
Joe is as well. And that's just one of them. I could talk on and on about the other ones, that opportunities that came my way, with
Yeah.
lenders and people who own banks that I spark conversations with, not knowing they own a bank. And they
Yeah.
just see me with my briefcase going downtown on the phone, running. What do you do, young man? And I took the time to stop what I was doing during my business, and come to find out, this guy was owned a bank, and he gives loans. I actually have him in my back pocket. I referred him a couple people.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, it's all about just being ready, by all means, being ready.
Yes, sir. Now, here's the last thing I want to get into. It's a little personal,
Yes,
but
sir.
it's still business.
Yes, sir.
I want you to talk a little bit about how important it is to have the right person by your side, because one thing that I noticed about your story, and shout out to Crystal, she's watching, is that she was with you on this whole journey from coming to Detroit, with nothing, to where you are now. Talk about how important it is to have the right person by your side.
Man, it is so important, man. Shout out to my wife, Kerry Lampkin. Oh man, love you, boo. I know you on here cheering me on. Yeah, so man, Crystal, she was down by my side throughout the years when it came to when I first met her. Like, it's a funny story how we met. I ain't gonna share it with you, but we met at a party. I'm gonna share it now. We met at a party. We wasn't saved. You know what I mean? Met at a party. I seen her. She was fine over there, sitting on, like looking at her. Like, I'm gonna get her number. So she was playing hard to get. That's one thing about Crystal. I love when a woman play hard to get. So she tried to play hard to get. I said, okay, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. So I finally was able to get a number and things like that, and went out on a couple dates and things like that. Fast forward, Crystal, she's smart. She's very smart, and she's always about having. Even though I was making money, she didn't care about my money. You know what I'm saying? Crystal was the type of female that, like, hey, I got my own. She had her own car, you know what I'm saying? Her own place to stay, her own room and all that. She wasn't worried about me. She had her stuff together. She was even going to school and had plans and goals. She had her cosmetology license. Like, Crystal had it going on. So she dropped what she was doing to actually help sow into my vision, like to help me with my vision.
Wow.
It's crazy, man, when you have somebody behind you that has your back like that, because she's my backbone. She's my support, because without her, I don't think I'll be where I'm at now. Be real with you. I know I would eventually get there, because God, whatever God has for me, but I think that God put her in my life for a reason. She's my soulmate. So she also helps me when it comes to the strategizing. Crystal was very smart with it too. She gave me her honest opinion about it. Sometimes I get mad, but it's the truth. So it hurts. We had arguments about certain things. I didn't believe that. I like, no, it ain't gonna work like that. And it will. And come to find out, she was right. Then when I tell Apostle, like, see, you should listen to your wife. I'm gonna start talking to Crystal before because Crystal always be right about certain things. So, man, but yeah, man, Crystal, she's definitely been by my side, man, through downs, through the ups, downs, ups. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even when I was in Texas, like, not that we were poor, we had things, we just didn't know how to manage it. You know what I mean? We had things. I had fixed my credit up. I ended up getting her a car. The Chrysler 300 at the time was a newer vehicle. I ended up getting a Range Rover. I was driving nice luxury vehicles. I was getting it in. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to manage it. I was trying to be like them other guys where I try to showboat. Look what I got. Riding in my Range Rover, knowing that I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
It's crazy. But Crystal was with me through that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Even though she would tell me not to over leverage myself and not to, she was smart on that issue. I mean, matter of fact, I still need to start listening to her. I'll be real. I'm being completely honest. Like, I still be hard headed sometimes and don't listen to her, and I end up, falling on my butt and had to learn my lesson. But she's definitely that woman that when you see the things I have now, just know that it's somebody behind me that's helping me. It's always whatever great man it is, there's a great woman right next to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard plenty of stories about it. So I tell you that she's definitely been a very big impact in my life. And she's low key. Crystal's so low key, but she is so powerful when it comes to, like, when she speaks, give the word. Even when she prays, she's very powerful. She may be shy, but she's very powerful. She be praying. She be fasting. So a lot of those fasts, this is the thing too. I don't mean to get all spiritual with this, this interview, but to be honest with you, a lot of chains broken because of our fasting. I mean, I took initiative to do a fast, and she took initiative to do a 40-day fast, 2016 when we first moved here. So that set the foundation. That opened up many more doors. It was chains that wouldn't let us get to that, because I had generational curses. She had generational curses, like 60 generations back. Some things that our ancestors did that we didn't have no knowledge of. We didn't do, but we know that one thing that did happen whenever we got on that fast, whenever she did the fast, chains broke off of us, and then we got access to wealth. We got access to connections. We got access to. It's just like it opens doors, man. And so that's all I gotta say, man. Like, my wife was she's definitely an OG.
Yes, sir. And a lot of people don't realize that, man. I tell people that all the time, is that, and even some women don't realize how powerful they are when you with the right woman that God has placed by your side. God has anointed her to be your helpmeet. And women carry something inside of them called intuition. So that equipment that women carry, that benefits, us as men, because God speaks to them in a certain way that he speaks to us differently. He don't speak to us the way he speaks to them. So that helpmeet anointing that they carry, it's something to it when they say, I don't know about that guy, or honey, you sure about that deal? Or it's like,
bro, it's so true. Crystal got discernment out this world. She got discernment out this world. I'm telling you, you can't even come up with no lie with her. She's gonna be like, that's a lie. Like, dang. She cold with it. She cold with it, man. She cold. I think she should be real good forensics. What do you call that stuff? Where they see it, they do investigating stuff. She be watching them shows and stuff too. I'm like, man, look at her. She's sharpening her tools. She's sharpening her gift.
I'm serious. Like, man, you can't be a man. You cannot not listen to your wives.
Yes,
because you are. That's a foolish mistake.
Yeah. So shout out to Crystal though, man. Real talk. Like, shout out to Crystal. She's definitely my backbone. Like, she's right now out with the children too. Like, when I'm out there getting it in, I don't even know when last time Crystal worked. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, it's a job raising the children. Like, it's a job. It's literally a job. And I had to be honest too. Like, I wasn't doing too well when it came to like helping around the house. I'm gonna be real with you, man, because I felt like, oh, I'm the man. I'm making money, bringing the money in. But then again, like, she's working too. She's these children, they have to do homework. Like, right now, she's became a teacher. She has to like do every single one of our children's homework. I'm glad. Like, I need to start helping. Dang, I'm feeling bad right now as I'm talking. But real, I'm just being real with you, man. Like, she literally do their homework, and it's all type of stuff that she be doing like behind the scenes. So she's superwoman around here. She's super clean up after them and everything. So and another thing too, as guys start to elevate us, I'm starting to notice that what me teaching about the management, that I'm gonna need to get a house sitter. Or somebody that's homekeeping, that they do the clean up, help us clean up. We're gonna need a cook. So I'm saying this right now. So those that they hear me talk, you may want to put yourself in line to actually get interviewed, because I'll be looking for a cook soon. I'll be looking for someone that can watch our children, like a nanny. I'm gonna need those things, because as God begin to elevate us, like, we can't do all that stuff. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. This some good stuff, bro. Anything else you wanna leave with the people?
Yes, I want to leave this too. I always say this too. I even said it on my last interview, where it has to be this, man. God has to be in the equation in everything that you do. God has to be the foundation of it. Because if God is not in the equation of that, it's gonna fall. Anything you build on your own that you thought you built on your own, anything that you create, anything that God has blessed you with, your money, finances. If you get beside yourself, you're gonna end up like King Nebuchadnezzar, crawling on the ground, losing your mind, it'll strip you.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't want that. That's a horrible place to be at too, man. From being at the top to going back to the bottom, that's a horrible place. And you will stop that. Like I said, is that you want to continue to put God first in everything that you do. These are principles. I'm telling you, I live this. I'm not just telling you this to tell you I lived it. I'm 31 years old. I never thought that I'll be in this position that I'm in now, and I still don't think that I'm at the top. I still think I have a lot of work to do. This is just a snippet of what I'm doing. This is a snippet of what God has blessed me with. So I can imagine what God has for me. If this is just a snippet, I'm barely touching surface. So this is, you know what I mean? Because like, to be honest with you, $1 million ain't nothing. Beyond, it ain't nothing. It's something. People may think it's something because they don't have it, whatever. But it really ain't nothing. That stuff can go by so fast. I seen a man blow. I kid you not. Apostle can tell you. Apostle Wayne T. Jackson can tell you this because he knows the whole story. I'm not going to put the man out. It's a man that I know personally that I was working for before when I first got into this real estate game, right? Real estate business. And I was literally working for him. He would pay me a commission when I find him deals. And what's crazy is that good thing I had a mentor, which is Apostle Wayne T. Jackson, where he was telling me how to work. Because like I was working for him for free. Because like I would find him deals and he wouldn't pay me nothing. So Apostle was like, Kerry, that's not fair. Like ask him to give you a commission. It'll be more fair because you did work the grounds, you did find a deal. And when I asked him, the dude started giving me commission here, 5,000 here, 1,000 here. So now I got another source of income coming in from just being just finding deals. It's a deal finder. You make money that way. So if you want to get into real estate, you can just be a deal finder. Find deals to investors, break it down, come up with all the math, come up with all the game plan. And when you package to when you present it to them, it's already proved, boom. And then so to get back to what I was saying, I think that was the Holy Spirit taking me to that part. But God has to be God has to be in the equation, because if he's not, you're gonna find yourself in a horrible place. And you don't want to be in that place, because God know how to get my attention. Because I'm be real, in the beginning, I was making all this money. I started putting God on the back burner. I was like, man, I got business to do. I got making this money. So, okay, got you. God said, I got you. Let me hit you. Boom, $17,000 stolen. Remember when I got a property right? They took the furnace, water tank. They took the toilets. They took the tub. They took the vanity sink. They took the carpet wire. Bro, they stripped me down. I was so mad. I told my wife to drop me off there, and I had my shotgun. I was waiting for them to come back so I can put one in their butt. You know what I mean? That's how mad I was. And I'm like, Kerry, you can replace things, but you can't replace. You got a family that. So he began to tell me like you can replace those things. But yeah, man, I didn't mean to get off topic with that.
No, that's good stuff, man. Tell people because some people were asking about the course that you were mentioning. How can people access that, and how can people find you online?
Okay, so it's simple. On the bottom is kerrylampkin.com. I have all my information on there. So kerrylampkin.com. You can go there, or you can go to my Instagram at Kerry Lampkin. I also have a link that you can go to that has all the websites of things. If you need funding options, if you need your credit repaired, if you need by the way, credit is your life. You want to make sure you have credit. Credit is your life, and we can help with those things. I had bad credit, but it took people who understood credit to help me, and they begin to show me what to do with my credit, because credit can be repaired and restored. Same thing. So always know that. Don't think, oh, my credit's so bad. It's okay. Credit can be rebuilt. That's what you rebuild. You can rebuild credit. You can restore credit. So just never think that your credit's bad, because you can start somewhere. It's all about starting. So all the information you see is kerrylampkin.com. You can just go to my website. It has all my episodes of Possessing the Land. You'll be able to see everything you need to know is on there. And also my courses should be on there as well. If you're on here too, just put the link to where that course is. Now, if you do sign up for that course, just know that you won't be qualified to enter into the giveaway of the land, because I want to be fair to those who registered early. And I know we closed the registration, so but I will be having another one. So you want to stay tuned, stay connected to my social media, because I'm going to be giving away another land that's right over there in that area too, right off the Southfield Freeway, and that's going to be, I'm taking it to another level. It's going to another level. So, but yeah, this is fun, man. I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you, Minister Joe, for giving me the time to share my testimony, to share my knowledge, man. I don't take this lightly, bro. The opportunities like this is what I love. I love these opportunities, bro, because things happen. Like whoever's listening, you don't know who listening. It could be that millionaire listening in right now.
Right.
This thing is touching the world right now. Social media. I kid you not. It's a guy that I know by Darius James. He plays the guitar. Those that know Darius James. Darius James was playing his acoustic guitar on Instagram. Guess who reached out to him? It was John P. Key. And I believe he started traveling with him, and he started traveling with Todd Delaney. And it all started from him being on social media using this gift, this talent. So if I have my gift and talents and God has anointed me in this area to share, I'm gonna utilize every platform to be on to share this knowledge. You know,
Yeah.
Knowledge is wealth. Always remember that knowledge is wealth.
Yeah. And we didn't even get to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You about to make another point.
The more you learn, the more you earn. Like Warren Buffett said. Go ahead. You didn't talk
I
about
like that. The more you earn, the more you learn.
Yeah, no,
I
the
like
more
that.
you learn, the more
you learn, the more you earn.
Yeah. That's so true. I live by that, bro. Because if you have knowledge of something, then you're gonna act, apply. There's no use to getting understanding about something if you're not gonna apply it.
Yes.
It's like a smoking doctor that tell you, hey, stop smoking. And they over here, it's bad for your lungs, but you ain't applying the principle. You telling me to stop, but look at you.
Right.
No, but I don't get off topic, man. I can go on. I can talk forever, man. I'm passionate about this. That's why I'm going in so strong with it, because I'm passionate about this. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody be successful. God said it, that he has a plan and a purpose for us, to prosper us, not to hurt, not to harm us. So if his word says it, I'm leaning on it. I'm standing on that. I'm like, Lord, your word says that I'm going to be prosperous. You're going to make me prosper. You're not going to hurt me. You're not going to harm me. We know that weapons, they said that weapons is not going to hurt you, and all that. That's the thing about it. It can appear that it's going to hurt you, but it ain't going to form. It ain't going to hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. So even though it's going to be formed, it's not going to prosper.
Yes.
Because God is on this. That's the thing too. The enemy can't kill you. That's why he try to confuse your mind. That's why he try to get you off course. That's why he try to keep you dummy down. That's why he try to the ignorance. What is it? Like keep you ignorant. Yeah. That's what you try to do. You can't be ignorant of the Satan's devices. The Bible talks about it. See, now I'm preaching.
But no, you talking good, bro.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I said this last week on the show, is that when I look at especially our people, it saddens me to know that so many people are in the predicaments they're in, whether they're in poverty or they're struggling or they're in lack, simply because they didn't know, they didn't have to be in that predicament. They didn't have a mentor. They didn't have anybody sharing principles with them, or anybody, maybe some of them did know, maybe some of them did have it going on at one point, but nobody taught them discipline so that they could keep it. Like Apostle Jackson always says, you quoted it earlier, your talent can take you, where your character can't keep you, or it's not what you get, it's what you keep. So when we see people not living their best life, or not living in their abundant place, or not living in their place of abundance, a lot of times it's just because they didn't know. They didn't have anybody to inspire them or to reach in them and pull out what's in them. It was funny. A guy that he did 12 years in prison. We were talking one day, and he said, "Man, Joe," he said, "everything is in prison." He said, "Carpenters, electricians, this, that, like anything you want done, somebody in prison know how to do it."
That's so facts. That's so true. And Joe, I'll tell you my story. So I'll tell you, I got a big story. I worked as a correctional officer for about 3 months. Right, it was like a summer gig, right before I went off to college, and I got hired. Well, they forced me to resign. Right. I'm only bringing this up because you mentioned about in prison. Like, I know it's another world in prison, but when I tell you, it's so many smart people, it's lawyers in there. It's so many. I learned some stuff in there from them guys. They would teach me. They would put me on game on things. And on top of that, they had an industry in there where they had jobs in there. They would make different types of iron stuff. Like, I think bullets they would make or something and ship it off to. It was literally in there working, man. They was designing things and shipping it off for profit, making the prison people money. But then again, when they get out, they had a trade. They would take that trade and they would some of them became successful businessmen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're right, man. Like, in prison, there's some guys in there that picked up trades, that know some stuff. Speaking of prison, it's a guy, I'll never forget him. I got to make sure that I actually tell you this, because when I was working on a garbage truck, right, we all know that people that get out of prison, one thing they do is they get their CDL license, because they got some of them have bad records where they can't work a government job, but they got a good driving record. That's their CDL is their diploma. That's their degree. That's their major. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is, I worked around a lot of guys that were in prison, and I started gaining a lot of knowledge from them. There's one guy named Michael Ellison. Michael Ellison he never even went to ninth grade. He never went to high school. He didn't do no school in high school. He went to prison all his life, right? He got out, and I was training him. When I was training him, during the time I just got out of my accident, after I got out of my accident, some months passed by, and I got a job working for a trash company called IESI. It then got bought out by Progressive Waste Solution. So I would drive this truck. I was driving this truck and I was training him. Mike had his, I guess he just got a CDL license, whatever. So I had to train him so he can get his hours in, so he can get his license, and then take him to go take the test so he can pass it and get his real ID. So he had his permit. But make a long story short, he was like, Kerry, you got to set yourself up. You a smart young man. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. At the time, like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? But he saw something in me, man. He saw greatness in me. He began to like tell me, he don't even know what he was doing. But some of the stuff he was saying stuff prophetically. Now I see like, yo, oh my God, Mike, I couldn't wait to call him to let him know the things that I was doing. He was like, bro, I'm already up on it. I've been following you on social media for a while, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Proud of what you're doing. I told you, bro. So that was like, yo, but one thing that I'll tell you, prison taught him a lot. Prison taught him how to set up an LLC. Taught him how to set up a business, how to capitalize on taxes and things like that. So he would get to share this with me while we driving and stuff. I'm like, at the time, I'm like, bro, I'm about to get this money, paycheck to paycheck. Like, you can tell me this stuff later. But he threw that seed in me. And later on, that seed grew. And now I'm like, yo, because at first I was like, why did I know some of the stuff I know? But it was this dude, Mike, in my ear, sharing that stuff with me. So that's why I don't look down on anybody on what position where they come from. I don't look down on nobody. I even talk to a homeless guy that knows some wisdom and share some stuff. Okay, what you do to be here? Well, don't be this, don't be that. You see what I'm saying? It's like learn from people's mistakes and act. You know what I mean? My bad, Mr. Joe.
No, this is good stuff, bro. This is good stuff. Yes, man. I appreciate you for coming on, man, and sharing your story and your knowledge. And we definitely gonna have you back, man. And I reading the comments, people really been blessed by your story, man. So that's what's up. That's what fusion is all about.
Fusion.
Yes, sir.
I feel fused right now, baby. I'm ready to go work out. Hey, I'm like, God just blessed me with energy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I just love it, bro. I just love it. I just I get a high out of just making people laugh or making people happy or making deals work. Me and Apostle have this slogan. We have this saying called "People over profit," and we will live by that, bro. Because when you take care of God's people, when you take care of God's house, God's gonna take care of you. When you don't put things like when you're not about yourself, when you're not being all about yourself, but God sees that, man, and He just blesses you with it. Like, man, it's just a principle thing, man. It just works. So always make sure that if you start a business too, I want to add this too. If you start a business, make sure your business has purpose. And the reason why I say that is because what's the use of doing something if you're not helping others?
Yes,
not helping others. What's the use of having that business? What's the use of, you know what I mean? Don't be all about the money, because greed kills deals. I've been a witness of that. And you chasing money gonna run from you. You chasing money, but when you chase your passion, when you chase the things that God instilled in you, that purpose that God instilled in you, you're gonna be anointed in that area, and everything gonna follow you. Everything gonna flow, especially when you're putting God first, because God's gonna cause those things to just it attracts you. It attracts you. That's why I said management attracts wealth. So when you manage something, people that knows about management, even the wicked people in the wicked places that know management. That's why the Bible says about the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. It's because those people know how to manage. Those people that are wicked know how to manage. Until the people that are Christians or the people don't wake up to know that management is a principle thing, and in order for God to bless it, then they have to get this management principle. Then that's when God can start downloading this stuff in you. Like, boom. That's why I said an investment, when you start investing, it's good to have a team, because now you start to manage. You can't over leverage yourself. You can't just overdo things. You can't be here and be there. I had to learn to get a team and start having that team help me. So yeah, I'm just flowing, man.
Yes, sir. No, this is good stuff, bro.
Yes, sir.
This is good stuff, man. I appreciate you, man. And these jewels that you drop, man, is crucial, man. And I'm glad that you came on and accepted. I'm putting your website up because I want people to
Yes, sir.
look
Thank you.
you up
Appreciate
and
that.
make sure you check him out. Make sure you check out his Possess the Land
Yes, sir.
reality series, where he shows himself in the process of his day-to-day activities and making things happen and making deals happen.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot from this guy.
Thank
You
you.
know, and I want to say to you that I admire your wisdom and your drive, even at 31 years old,
Hmm.
because you're of the millennial generation. And, you know, people have a lot of negative things to say about millennials, but, you know, you are definitely the exception to the rule, bro.
Yeah, man. God be the glory, man. Like I said, I give God all the honor and the glory for it. And I definitely before I end, I want to make sure that you guys know I honor my pastors, my
Mhm.
spiritual father, mother, Apostle
Yes.
Angel, Dr. Beverly Y. Jackson. I honor my wife. Like I said, she's my backbone. Um, I just thank God for this opportunity. Thank you, Minister Joe, again.
Yes, sir.
Just so you know, I just got featured on a magazine called Power 20. Um, they're featuring me as the businessman of the week or something like that. So they got my
Nice.
story. They caught my story. So you'll be seeing me post that on my social media soon. I just got a text message about it saying it's awesome news, and I was like excited. So they sent me a picture of me in the magazine showing me proof of it. They're gonna be
Yeah.
putting me in the magazine as the businessman of the week.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
All right, bro. Well, thank you, and we'll make sure we have you back, man.
Yes, sir. I'll be honored to be back, and I'll share some more knowledge. We'll take it to another level.
Yes, sir. No doubt. All right.
I
God
love you,
bless,
bro.
bro.
Thank you for
Love you
having
too, man.
me. All right.
Yes, sir. Wow. That was incredible. Again, thanks to Kerry Lampkin for sharing his story. And hopefully, you guys not only got inspiration, but you got some information of steps you can take. In everybody's story, there's things that you can learn from their journey. And that's why I'm presenting these people. And that's why I'm the first two shows, I made sure that I brought people on board that started from where some of you are. You know, some of you are doing better where you are now than where he started from, or where Dr. Nicole Farmer from last week started from. Some of you all got better situations in your life now than they had when they started. And so it should be encouraging to you that you got information from these individuals that can show you how you can get from where you are to where you want to be. And that's what fusion is all about. And you know, one of the key things that he talked about that I want to make sure you get, because I know a lot of you, you know, a lot of you on here, I know some of you I don't know, but you know, you're working 9-to-5 jobs, you have different careers and things that you're doing, you know. And one thing that stood out is that he took his opportunities from the job that he was working to learn about that job, and then that became businesses that he owned. And so whatever job you're working, you know, uh, always look for opportunities of where you can start a business. Don't just go to work and put your 8 hours in, or your 10 hours in, or your 12 hours in, and then go home, you know, and get your check and then just come back and do it the next day. Learn something that you can gather from your job that you can say, you know, maybe I could start a company and become a vendor for this company, or maybe I can start a company, agency, or something that's like the job I work for, but you know, I can become their competition. You know, you got to think big. You got to think big, and what helps you think big is when you avail yourself to information and people's stories that are doing big things. And like he said, you don't have to just have a mentor at being somebody in your personal life that you talk to on the phone. It could be somebody that you follow on YouTube, or somebody's books that you follow. You know what I mean? So I want to encourage you guys to go out and possess the land, whatever that land is. If it's not real estate, whatever that land is, your business, your ministry, your whatever it is that you're seeking to do. And don't be afraid of money. You know, don't be afraid to let God bless you to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to give away everything for free. You don't have to give your time away for free. You know what I'm saying? There's value in your time. There's value in your knowledge. There's value in your experience. So You know, don't be afraid of money. Go out here and make deals. Go out here and say, hey, you know, yeah, I'll turn you on to this person, but you know, if something comes of it, I want a percentage. I want a couple of points off the deal. You know, let's do business. Let's get it. Let's get it cracking. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with Fusion. Please share this. If you need to reach out to me, uh, here's my information. My email is joesmithworldwide@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram under Millionaire Joe. You can find me on YouTube under my name, Joe Smith /Millionaire Joe. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to be giving a lot more information. I'm going to be posting videos on my channel that, you know, in addition to the Fusion podcasts and shows, you know, we'll be posting different information and different things like that. So please like and subscribe. And keep your eyes and ears open for next week's episode. And I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.